Hey, it's Courier Girl. It's time for another job search. And today we are heading over to Colorado Springs, Colorado, and we're going to see what's going on there. So you see that I have in a search Courier Companies, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And we are going to do View All. And the first thing we're going to do is look at the map. The more little red dots you have in the map, the more companies are going to be available. And you can zoom in and zoom out a little bit. If you zoom out, you might get more locations a little bit farther out. And if you zoom in, you're going to get fewer because you're zoomed in more. So let's kind of make it a little bit like it was originally. There we go. That's an Amazon delivery, so we don't care about you. All right, so these are the main courier companies that we're finding. And remember, some companies aren't going to show up in this search. So look for alternative means if you don't find anything that you like or people you want to work with or availability in your particular area. All right, let's start at the beginning. Oh, notice also on Colorado Springs, there are no ads. There aren't any people advertising for courier work in Colorado Springs. And when I mean work, I mean they're not advertising for customers. Usually in this courier company search, they're not going to be showing job ads. These are ads for customers. And these are like, hey, you need a courier? Call us. That's what this is. But I'm not seeing any ads, which would be at the top. Okay, Your Courier Service LLC. That is in Colorado Springs. And let's see, about us, request a quote. It says employee opportunities. We'll go there in just a second. 24-hour deliveries. Also, this is a little tip. If you like working overnight, I like working sometimes in the middle of the night because traffic is so much nicer. You can get in and out of places. Like I can park downtown on a street in Cincinnati at like 5 in the morning and nobody's going to bother me. It's easy to find parking because there's nobody there. If you're just there for 10 minutes doing your delivery, you're probably not going to get a ticket, even if you don't put money in the meter or if you're in a no parking zone. That early in the morning, it's quick in, quick out, and generally not a bother. So, and the highways are a lot clearer too. So I like working early mornings. Really early mornings, sometimes as early as 3, better than I like working in the middle of heavy traffic. So here's phone number, here's a number to text, here's an email. I would probably start with the office email, not the dispatch email. And they have regular routes and they have on-demand routes probably. They're doing medical. They're doing warehouse services. They probably do a whole bunch of different things. And so let's go to employee opportunities and see what they have. Here is a form. It's not the best form in the world because it's jumping all over the place. Let's see if we can get past that. And you could probably also call them and see what is available. What is an IC opportunity? Oh, here you go. You have to be over here. This is for drivers. So courier opportunities, you have to have your own fully insured vehicle. So I would go for IC rather than employee. This is like people who are going to get a job. This is like contractors. Oh, IC, independent contractor. Duh, that flew right over my head. Okay, so this is the one for independent contractors. You can fill this out. And you can go from there, or you can just contact them and ask a few questions. I'll probably have you fill this out. Okay, Wrap Express. No, we don't want it to be there. We want it in a new tab so that we keep our search open. All right, Colorado Springs. Here's their phone. Here's their email. Here's their phone number. Let's look at employment. Full and part-time driving positions. You could be semi-retired. They are using you have to provide your own driving record for them. They're using Monster to apply. Let's just check out what it says. You could also do I guess you could also do, not really sure what this is all about. Okay, anyway. So this is their job application as shown on Monster, but they're just linking you to a Word document. So it says what you're doing. It says small pickup trucks, full-time positions, overtime pay. You have to be able to drive a stick shift. Looks like these are their trucks that you're doing. Yeah, it looks like it's their trucks, but I would call them and find out. And okay, so here's the thing. Even as an independent contractor, sometimes you will drive the contractor's car or truck or vehicle. For instance, the company that I do a lot of work for has a few company vans that people can use, and box trucks too. Now, when you are working with their vehicle, you're going to make less money because you're not providing your own vehicle, you're not paying for the gas and all of that stuff. And so they adjust the rate to account for that. But you're still an independent contractor. So that's something else to think about. Trip savers, couriers. See, that's about documents, legal documents. Doesn't really say anything else. You can play their video if you want. There's their phone numbers and emails. Real estate documents, medical. Let's see what they say about medical. So they're doing medical courier like labs, route deliveries, rush deliveries, stuff like that. Legal is filings, court orders, bond documents, all that type of thing. And here's their phone number, and let's see if they also have, here's an email, or you can just stop by if you want to find out more. And you know what? Sometimes walking into a courier company is a great idea. You walk in, you talk to the people, tell them what you're looking for, and making that human eye-to-eye, face-to-face contact, it goes a long way. Because if you took the time to go and see them and talk to them, they're going to remember you a little bit better, and it goes a long way towards helping people feel comfortable in hiring you, rather than just, this data entry form on a screen that they get in their email. They don't know anything about you. So don't discount that method of human-to-human contact. Okay, King's Bee Delivery Services does not have a website. Here is their phone number. Remember what we learned in the last video, to go down here and see if there's anything about, like web results, like anything about King Bee, because that one company, the Bigfoot one on the Seattle, Washington video, had a website even though it wasn't listed on Google's Maps. Google Maps, not Google's Maps. All right, so give them a call. They do have some reviews, so you can read the reviews and see what you think about them. All right. UPS drop. It looks like it's just a place to drop off stuff for UPS, so not what we're looking for. Coca-Poli's OCD. They don't have a website. Looks like a warehouse from the picture, which is cool. Coca Poly's OCD Treatment Center, OCD. Not really sure what they do. I would call them and ask. Bijou, Courier, and Notary Service. And I've seen some in my searches in different cities, I've seen some opportunities for mobile notaries. So that could combine with a courier service. And in a lot of states, it's really not super hard to get your notary license. So that could be something that could bring in a few extra bucks. I'm a courier and I'm a mobile notary. Greater Pikes Peak region. I'm not sure where that is, but you all in Colorado Springs will know that. Let's see. It does not look like they have a website, but it does look like they have a Facebook and Instagram. Let's check them out. It's kind of hard for me to read. It's not a regular Facebook page. I almost wonder if this is like a 1 or 2 person. Here it is. Here's their website. See, you got to be kind of a detective, and their website doesn't work. Probably not a good site. Yeah, not going to work. But you can also, that's another tip, to look up some of these companies on Facebook, Instagram, other social media, see if they have a YouTube channel, just to find out more about them. And, honestly, if I was just starting to get courier jobs, I wouldn't be, this is not like a big time, multi-million-dollar career. So I wouldn't be doing that much research. I would be jumping in, getting into the work, and then if you don't like the company, now you've got experience to take to another company. So I would get into it, use this information to get the contacts, make the contacts, start getting your first jobs, and then work your way up from there. Okay, legal processing service, Colorado Springs. They probably are taking things to courthouses and filing papers and doing all sorts of legal work, stuff like that. And keep in mind that if you've never done that type of stuff before, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But if you're a good courier, you're good at what you do, you have an attention to detail, I'm sure that a lot of these places will train you and help you get started. And in no time at all, you're going to know your way around. Once you get to know the people in your local courthouses and sheriff's offices and all that kind of stuff, it's not like you get a free pass, but you get waved through a lot more quickly. For instance, in the height of all the COVID stuff, I was going in and out of hospitals all the time. Well, everybody had to stand in line and get their temperature taken and, get their hand sanitizer and be asked a bunch of questions. But because I was in there multiple times a day and they knew me and they knew I was a courier, for the most part, I just got waved right through. So I was just walking through just like a regular employee. And this can happen at the local sheriff's departments and courthouses and places that you're processing this legal paperwork too. I mean, you still probably have to go through their security, but you're going to get through a lot quicker because they know you're there for business and they recognize your face and all that kind of stuff. Okay. That's an Amazon delivery locker, Expert Express Courier. Doesn't have a website. Interesting, there's a lot of places without websites here. So let's see if they have a website further down. Web results. They do. Expert Express Courier. See, that's another one. Not on Google Maps, but they did have a website that we could find. Here's their email. Here's their phone number. I guess that's where they're at. Dedicated, shared and dedicated warehousing. So they're doing warehousing, air freight forwarding, ocean freight forwarding, road freight forwarding. So, okay, what they do is they get in shipments and then they forward them to other places. So they get in truckloads of stuff. They put stuff on planes. It's all about warehousing, cargo. It doesn't say anything about the type of stuff that we're doing, but that doesn't mean that they don't do it. For instance, up here they say ground transportation. Well, they're not going to have a semi truck go and deliver 1 or 2 boxes. They're going to have a car, they're going to have a van, they're going to have all sorts of things. I don't see anything about jobs, so in order to find out more, here's a phone number. Here is, let's see. Oh, they're all over the world. So here's what they're doing. They're probably getting in shipments from all over the world, cargo shipments on big ocean, ocean liner ships, airplanes, stuff like that. And then they're coming into their warehouse, and then they're sending them on their way to either individuals or companies in the local area, or truck by truckloads or airplane or whatever in different cities. So I don't think, looking at this more, this is something that somebody like you as a courier may be able to find work doing. However, they may have resources for you. So you could still call and talk to them and just say, hey, I'm a local courier. I'm looking to hook up with courier companies. Do you do that yourself? If not, who are the courier companies that you're contracted with for our local areas? Because they may have courier companies that are getting their freight and then they're distributing to the end customer. And so it may be a lead. Got to think in terms of leads as well as people that you would end up working for. All right. So due diligence courier service, that sounds like legal to me, due diligence. But I could be wrong. Process services, legal businesses. Did I not just say that? Yes. So I'm guessing they're legal. It doesn't look like they have a website, but you could look on their LinkedIn. I haven't been on LinkedIn so long, I don't even know how to log in anymore. And you could, let's see, give them a call and find out exactly what they do and if you may be able to help them out. Parcel Tech. Also no website. They're in Tucker Safety Products, Garden of the Gods Road. Here's their phone number. They have a Yelp, MapQuest. They do not have a website that I see. Okay, and you could also Google their name and see if you can get more information. But again, calling people is the best, or even just stopping in and saying, hey, do you need any help? All right, let's go and look for courier jobs. All right. These are that's an Amazon. These are some of the major job search sites. And a good tip is to make a list of those job search sites because they're the big ones like Jobs to Careers and Indeed and Monster, but there are also some lesser known ones that sometimes have things on it you're not going to find elsewhere. Okay, let's go down to jobs. This is a delivery driver at A&C Plastics. It's probably it looks like it's a W-2 job, 24 to 30 hours a week, $17 an hour. Okay, not interested in you. This is Amazon. This is FedEx. Food service is a route delivery driver, so probably a W-2 job. Urgent hiring. That's shipped. That's like for shopping orders, like grocery shopping. Papa John's is pizza. FedEx. Apria Healthcare. This looks like a W-2 job. Yeah, medical, dental, 401k. Non-emergency medical driver. It's a taxi operation, Z-Trip, the largest taxi operation in the U.S. Independently contracted drivers, owner-operators. They cover maintenance. Oh, and they provide a vehicle. That's interesting. Independently contracted drivers, owner-operators, but then they cover a vehicle. So I would have to get more information about this. Let's look up here, Z-Trip costs. All right, Z-Trip home. They're going to be all over the place. So it's an app thing. Kind of like an Uber or Lyft, I bet. I bet that's very familiar. Shipt, DoorDash, Papa John's, Shamrock Food, that's the delivery driver. Whenever it says sign-in bonus, you know it's probably a W-2 job. Cintas, big uniform company that actually started in Cincinnati, Ohio, and now they're, I think, nationwide. And I know they're nationwide. They may be worldwide even. FedEx, hospice, medical equipment delivery driver. Let's see, that is full-time medical delivery. That is probably going to be a W-2. Let's see, Ready Ice, truck driving, that's going to be a W-2. And you need to have a Class A, which is a CDL. So big trucks. Food delivery driver. This is Instacart, so that's like grocery store delivery. Auto parts, part-time. Now, auto parts stores, the ones around here at least, some of them have their own vehicles that have like lettering on them and everything, and others use their own or use independent contractors. So I've done auto parts delivery for an auto parts store as an independent contractor, but I know other stores, they run their own. So it just depends on how they're doing it. You can call them and find out. And sometimes they do both. Like they have their own drivers and then, wow, we've got so much work, we need extra help. So then they hire extra people to do it that aren't employees. Okay. Order filling and delivering, Walmart. Walmart's starting to do their own deliveries. Another Walmart. So interestingly, we found a bunch of courier companies, and we found courier companies that don't have websites, so they're not easily findable, but we're not finding a lot of courier companies like the kind that we want off or advertising for jobs. That doesn't mean there aren't positions available. It just means that you have to be a little bit more proactive in going out and really contacting these companies. Now, the good side of that is because they're not all advertising for jobs, you're not going to have as much competition. So if a company puts a job on, say, Indeed, they're probably going to get inundated with applications, so many applications. How are they ever going to find yours? And then people get discouraged because they're like, they never called me back, they never contacted me, and then they get really frustrated. But the fact that a lot of these companies aren't advertising on these big services doesn't mean they don't have work available. They may not have it immediately, but you want to get, in their system or in their memory so that you're the person they call the next time that they need somebody. Or they may need people, but they just haven't put an ad up. There's a lot of smaller courier companies that always need people, but they are relying on word of mouth. They haven't, maybe they've put ads out and it's been expensive and they haven't gotten quality people. So making those contacts is like super important. I need to make a whole video on this. All right. So that is it for Colorado Springs, Colorado. If you're out there, then let me know in the comments how you do with this information and like how your contacts go, if you get good job leads, all that kind of stuff. I really want to get feedback to know that these are helping you guys out and know that you are also succeeding in your quest for courier work. All right. That's it for now, and I will see you on the road.